Is Britain still a top military power, or are the headlines hiding the truth? In the next 10 minutes we'll strip away the myths and reveal the real strength of the UK military in 2025. Hi, welcome back to UK Defence Insider. If you like clear defense breakdowns with facts, hit subscribe and the bell. Today we answer one question: how powerful is the UK military right now? Ships, jets, tanks, nukes, money, we'll cover it all. Money is the map to military power. In 2024/25 the UK spent about £60.2 billion on defence. The 2025 spending review projects defence spending to reach roughly £62.2 billion in 2025/26 with plans to grow further toward the end of the decade. That's a major increase from a few years ago and shows the government is trying to rebuild capability after years of cuts. But more cash does not instantly fix aging fleets or training backlogs. Procurement timelines are long.
Numbers matter. As of early 2025, the full-time UK armed forces numbered around 147,000 personnel. That total has slowly fallen from much larger Cold War-era sizes, and even in the last year there was a small decline. Fewer people can limit the ability to sustain multiple long deployments simultaneously. However, the forces are professional and well-trained, with concentrated expertise in certain high-end capabilities. Sea power is central for an island nation. The Royal Navy has two Queen Elizabeth-class carriers, HMS Queen Elizabeth and HMS Prince of Wales, among the most capable carriers in Europe and the centerpiece of Britain's power projection. These carriers, operating with F-35s and escorts, give the UK an outsized influence on expeditionary operations. But at the same time the overall escort fleet has shrunk compared with Cold War levels, and delays in some new ship classes have stressed capacity. The carriers are a big diplomatic and combat asset, but the Royal Navy still faces gaps in numbers. The RAF is modernizing fast. The UK is part of the F-35 program and plans to operate a substantial fleet of F-35B short takeoff jets for both the Royal Navy and RAF. The F-35 brings stealth, sensors and network lethality, a clear upgrade over older platforms. At the same time, the Typhoon fleet remains a high-end, versatile fighter for air superiority and strike missions. The growing F-35 presence is a major multiplier for carrier strike and national defense. The Army has gone through restructuring, with more emphasis on mobility, reconnaissance and long-range fires. The UK continues to operate Challenger 2 tanks, and is modernizing its armored fleet with new vehicles in programs such as Boxer and Ajax upgrades. Quantity is not enormous compared to high-population countries, but the Army emphasizes quality, NATO integration, and rapid deployment brigades. Logistics and sustained manpower are the main constraints for large-scale conventional operations. Britain's strategic edge remains its nuclear deterrent. The UK operates submarine-based nuclear capability and is progressing a replacement program, the Dreadnought class, to ensure continuous at-sea deterrence into the 2030s. This single capability secures the UK's status as a nuclear power and acts as a strategic guarantee that few other components can match. Despite the strengths, there are real problems: shrinking fleet numbers, maintenance backlogs, personnel shortfalls in some specialties, and procurement delays. Building carriers and submarines is expensive and slow. New equipment needs supporting infrastructure and trained crews. In short, the UK retains high-end capabilities, but struggles with scale and sustainment for very large conventional wars. Compared to NATO peers, the UK is among the top 5 European military powers, high on technology, naval reach and nuclear capability, but behind larger countries on manpower and sheer hardware numbers. The UK punches above its weight strategically because of alliances, expeditionary doctrine, and specialized systems like carriers and submarines. So, how powerful is the UK in 2025? It remains a technologically advanced, strategically significant military with unique assets, carriers, nuclear deterrent, F-35s, but it is not the unrestricted superpower it once was. Its greatest limits are scale, sustainment and manpower. With higher budgets and the right focus, those gaps can shrink, but the results take years, not months. If you found this useful, smash that like button and subscribe for weekly defense breakdowns. Comment below, what part of UK defense should I cover next? Carriers, nuclear deterrent, or the Army's future? Sources and show notes are in the description. See you next time.